Welcome to today's edition of the Anaglyph Jukebox. You never know what you'll find on the old jukebox. Let's press B31. Okay, we've got Johnny Weissmuller as Tarzan, 3D. The original swinger. Edgar Rice Burrough's original 1912 novel, Tarzan of the Apes, was first filmed 6 years later, a silent film starring Elmo Lincoln as the ape man. But it wasn't until 1928 that the character first swung on a vine. Frank Merrill got the lead part after actor stuntman Joe Bonomo was forced to drop out after breaking his pelvis on another shoot. Merrill was a bodybuilder and a two-time national gymnastics champ. He finished just behind Charles Atlas in an America's Most Perfectly Developed Man contest. They took advantage of his high bar abilities and upper body strength to showcase a new move, swinging through the jungle from treetop vines. In 1932, when Johnny Weissmuller became the silver screen's Tarzan, they continued this. Those shots are performed by a stunt double, the circus aerialist Alfred Codona. Weissmuller was a 5-time Olympic gold medalist swimmer, not a gymnast. Weissmuller grabbed international attention at the 1924 Olympics in Paris, France. In addition to picking up 3 of his eventual 5 gold medals, he made his debut as an entertainer. Between races, Weissmuller dazzled the spectators with his comedic dives into the pool. One reviewer wrote, quote, "Clearly everyone agreed Johnny Weissmuller was the star of the 1924 Olympic Games." In all, Weissmuller won 5 Olympic gold medals and 1 bronze medal, 52 United States national championships, and set 67 world records. He was the first man to swim the 100-meter freestyle under 1 minute and the 440-yard freestyle under 5 minutes. He never lost a race and retired with an unbeaten amateur record.
I'm Jane Parker. Understand? Jane.
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 Yes, Jane. You? Jane.
Jane.
And you? You.
Tarzan.
Tarzan.
Jane. Tarzan. Jane.
That's right.
Tarzan. Jane. Tarzan. Jane. Tarzan. Jane. Tarzan. Jane. Tarzan. Jane.
Oh, please stop. Let me go. I can't bear this.
Weissmuller also saved many people's lives throughout his own life. One very notable instance was in 1927, during training for the Chicago Marathon, when Weissmuller saved 11 people from drowning after a boat accident. That famous yell. Weissmuller maintained that the yell was actually his own voice. His version is supported by his son and by his Tarzan co-star, Maureen O'Sullivan, and biographer John Taliaferro, who writes that, quote, "The noise was nothing more than Weissmuller's own yodel, which he had acquired, after a fashion, from German beer halls and immigrant picnics of his youth." Taliaferro recounts how MGM Studios, quote, "concocted a story that the sound was actually the invention of engineers who had blended Weissmuller's own voice with a hyena's howl played backwards, a camel's bleat, the pluck of a violin, and a soprano's high C. It was a commentary on the mystique of talkies and the bizarre singularity of the yell itself that the public accepted the studio's fib as fact. That yell, as used in the 6 MGM films, is a palindrome. It sounds the same when played backwards, indicating some manipulation of the sound editing department. Weissmuller rode untamed rhinos and elephants and forged deep connections with some of the animals on the set throughout his 17-year run as the character. But he worked hard to earn their respect. Not all of Weissmuller's co-stars had the same rapport with the animals. Maureen O'Sullivan, who played Jane alongside Weissmuller, recounted some of her run-ins with the wildlife. She claimed that the chimps were particularly protective of Weissmuller and jealous of anyone who came around, leaving her with lots of scrapes and bites. On the subject of injuries, Weissmuller himself used to show up to the set with bite marks, bruises, and scratches all over his perfect body from his fights with his girlfriend, later his wife, Lupe Velez. She was hot-headed, petite, and gorgeous. She was billed as the Mexican Spitfire. They married and divorced 3 times. Just how famous is Johnny Weissmuller as Tarzan? He's on the album cover of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, 1967.